because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See?
Stealth camping is supposed to be simple. Slip into the shadows, stay unnoticed, and leave without a trace. For most people, the worst thing that happens is a cold night or a restless morning. But sometimes, the danger comes from those who weren't supposed to be there, but whom you find anyway. Tonight, we're looking at 6 of the most disturbing stealth camping encounters caught on camera, all real and disturbing to the bones. Todd Champion is an American YouTuber behind the channel Campin' with Champion, a channel dedicated to stealth camping in just about any place you can imagine. Todd doesn't claim to be an expert at stealth camping, but no matter where he goes, he always manages to have a great time and a fun adventure. That is, until this particular camping trip, where Todd would finally break his streak of perfectly smooth stealth camps and find himself in a situation where something did happen to him. August 30th, 2025. The plan was simple. Todd had found a small spot right beside the highway, tucked between a cluster of trees where he planned to hide for the night. But first, to make sure no one else was hanging around the area, he placed his backpack inside the spot and hopped back on his scooter. He rode around for a while, keeping an eye on the surroundings and watching for any possible threats that could show up during the night. Once darkness settled in, Todd still hadn't seen anyone near the campsite, so he figured it was safe to return. He headed back without any worries, but he would soon discover that he wasn't nearly as alone as he thought.
I am back in my spot. Oh my gosh. Thought I saw someone. I'm back in my spot. That same guy that I saw earlier when I went to check the dumpsters was back again. I was just trying to get some cool shots riding the scooter or whatever, and he just popped up out of nowhere. And then he started asking me he's like, do you need me to help you film or something like that? Did I want him to hold the camera or something? I was like, no, I'm good. Then he was like, where are you camping at? And I was just like, just down the road. I shouldn't even have said that much, but. And then he asked me if I wanted someone else to camp with you. What? Dude. What the crap? That was nuts.
However, Todd is well prepared and has been stealth camping for years, so he brushes off the strange encounter with a nervous laugh and continues with his routine, getting ready to cook some food. Todd finds all his gear and starts preparing his meal. On the menu is a delicious bacon cheese cheeseburger and a sweet corn soda. But as he cooks and eats, he keeps glancing around the site, clearly on edge, almost as if he's expecting someone to show up. And before he even finishes his food, someone truly unsettling does.
I'm gonna finish eating, then we'll read comments from last week's video. That guy's back. You hungry?
No.
I got a sandwich here.
I was just walking around until daylight.
Really?
I've been 5 times in my life. I've been stabbed, I've been hanged 3 times. Each time they hang me for about dead and I catch a roll.
Yeah.
The strange man from earlier returns crawling right through the entrance of Todd's campsite. But this time, things are even more disturbing. He starts rambling about all the times he's died and what happened. Growing increasingly scared of what this man might do, Todd discreetly pulls out his knife and keeps it close by, just in case things take a dangerous turn.
Got any kids or anything?
I have 4 kids.
How old?
Twin boys, 13. 2 girls, 16 and 15.
I got 2 boys.
Well, don't miss little things in life. It's just them growing up, man.
Yeah.
I miss mine.
I used to be a truck driver and I quit because my kids were little. Trying to do this, maybe I can do something better, you know.
Did you someone with you to help you do it?
My wife. I've been married for 15 years. Before I met my wife, dude, I was bad. And I probably wouldn't still be around if I hadn't met my wife.
However, as the conversation continues, the strange man begins asking genuine questions about Todd's life and what he's doing out there. Still, a heavy, unsettling feeling lingers in Todd's chest. Something about this man just isn't right. And when the man suddenly asks if he can borrow Todd's phone to text his family members, that feeling is confirmed.
That way. Or if they call. Good meeting you, brother.
With shaking hands and a crooked, hunched posture, the man types a message to someone in his family, all while continuing his unsettling stream of chatter. After about 20 tense minutes, he finally gets up to leave, but not before giving the campsite one last troubling glance. As he exits, he continues mumbling to himself, disappearing back into the darkness.
So he just left. I'm packing up my stuff and I'm getting out of here. We talked for a while. He seems like a good guy, but there's no way I'm staying here now. No way. I'll check back in once I get packed up. He came back again while I was packing up. Just showed me some little fan, rechargeable fan thing he had. It was really small. It's kind of neat. But I can see him walking down the highway now. I'm getting out of here. We'll talk more once I get somewhere I feel safe.
As Todd said, there was no chance he was staying there for the night once that strange man knew where he was. And sure enough, while Todd was packing up his gear, the man returned one more time, this time just to say a final goodbye and show off a small handheld fan. Afterward, Todd told the camera that he actually felt really bad for the guy. He had even offered him some food, though the man didn't want any. Still, despite the sympathy, Todd kept his knife close and made sure the man knew he had it, just in case things took a dangerous turn. Thankfully, nothing happened, but the next day Todd looked him up online and found something truly disturbing.
Because since that happened, I was actually able to look the guy up, and I found some charges from last month where he was arrested. So I'm thinking he probably had just gotten out of jail and was wandering around. He may not be completely homeless, I don't know. But he told me he had PTSD, and then sometimes he didn't know what he was doing, like he would lose control, thinking he was in war. Said he'd been banned from Walmart for having episodes in there, so it's like I couldn't, I really didn't want to be out there with him if he goes into one of these episodes. I have no idea if any of that was true or not. All I can do is take him on his word, you know?
Fortunately for Todd, he left before anything could happen to him. But it just goes to show that when you're stealth camping, you can never be too careful, because you never know when you might cross paths with someone who is simply unstable. Sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're enjoying this video, you should consider subscribing. I'm currently on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers, but right now only 1.6% of you are actually subscribed, which means 98.4% of you are still watching from the shadows. I'd love to bring that number down and the subscriber count up, but I can't do it without your help. Subscribing is completely free, and your support helps me create even more awesome videos. Thank you in advance. On November 11th, 2022, Ellie and Graham, the elderly UK duo behind the YouTube channel Wizard in the Wild, uploaded a video that was very different from their usual cheerful adventures. Normally, they travel across Europe in their camper van, sharing cozy, lighthearted moments from the road. But in this particular video, their mood was shaken. Their trip had been cut short, and they were suddenly forced to travel back home due to an unexpected emergency. However, they were far too away from home to make the full drive in one day. After searching online for a stealth camping spot, they finally found a small car park on the outskirts of a town called Altrincham, not far from Manchester. It wasn't ideal, just a tiny, quiet lot. But they didn't have many other options. So they settled in for the night, hoping to rest up and get back on the road first thing the next morning. What they didn't expect, however, was that this simple overnight stop would quickly spiral into one of the worst experiences of their entire camping career. By the time they arrived, it was already fairly dark, so they pulled into a corner of the car park, settled the van, and went to sleep around 11 p.m. But at 1 a.m., both of them were jolted awake by loud techno music blasting from a nearby parked car. Thankfully, the music stopped shortly after, so they brushed it off and tried to go back to sleep. That's when they both heard a loud, disturbing bang, so forceful that their first thought was that a tree had fallen onto the van. Panicked, they threw on their shoes and rushed outside to see what had happened, and what they saw left them in complete shock.
Just can't believe it. We've just been woken up with a loud bang, and you dropped something on the floor there. Was that glass? 2 bricks. And someone's just smashed Merlin's windows while we were sleeping. So no, we don't recommend this as a place to stop. They smashed the windscreen, but Graham's hoping he can drive with that. But here's us in the middle of nowhere with a broken window and a cracked windscreen. About 200 miles from home.
Almost immediately, they spotted 3 bricks scattered around the van, and the damage was severe. The windshield had a large crack running across it. The side of the van behind the sliding door was badly dented, and worst of all, the entire passenger side window had been completely shattered. But even more troubling than the damage to the van was the impact on Ellie and Graham themselves. Both were shaken to their core, terrified, confused, and completely unsure of what they had just walked into. There was also the chilling possibility that this had been a trap to lure them outside. Yet, even after hours passed, no one approached them, no one tried to break in, and no one made any contact whatsoever. And somehow, that made the whole situation even more unsettling. No explanation, no confrontation, no motive. Just senseless destruction in the middle of the night, leaving an elderly couple scared, stranded, and without answers. Another family happened to be parked in the same lot that night, and through them Ellie and Graham learned that the attackers had come from a car. The other family heard tires screeching immediately after the loud bang. Ellie and Graham also realized this had likely been a coordinated attack. All 3 bricks struck the van almost simultaneously, meaning at least 3 people were involved. Unfortunately, no clear motive ever emerged, leaving the entire incident a complete mystery. And while Ellie and Graham admitted they were far too shaken to stealth camp again after that night, it seems they've since managed to put the past behind them, continuing their travels and uploading countless videos ever since. On November 9th, 2023, the YouTube channel The Northwest Wind, run by a man named Sam, uploaded a video that would go terribly wrong. Normally, Sam's content is pretty harmless: stealth camping, fishing trips, and the occasional abandoned building exploration. But this time was different. Dressed as a construction worker to blend in, Sam attempted to stealth camp on the roof of a restaurant, and what started as a clever and fun night out stealth camping would quickly turn into something far worse. As Sam climbed up the stairs and reached the top of the roof, nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary, yet.
Construction Kevin here.
However, the moment Sam climbs the ladder, he's met with a terrifying sight. A collapsed tent is lying on the roof, and right beside it is what appears to be a man wrapped in a blanket. Sam has no idea what he's looking at, until suddenly the figure moves.
Hello? Holy shit. Oh, you scared the crap out of
Oh
me.
yeah, man. I used to work. I used to work here.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm leaving town soon, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna stealth camp up here tonight.
No, it's been a rough time, bro.
Yeah. I got my pack and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm not.
Bother you.
Yeah, I'm not a threat to you. I'm not gonna fuck with you or nothing. I swear, I'm Sam.
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you work for the city?
No, I'm pretending to be a construction guy so I can come up here unnoticed.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What started as a normal stealth camping video turned terrifying in a matter of seconds, leaving Sam and his buddy Jay shaken on the rooftop. As they try to make small talk with the stranger, Sam can't shake the uneasy feeling creeping over him. Something about the guy feels off. So Sam steps away for a moment to talk to the camera, unsure of what to do next. After all, he really doesn't feel comfortable spending the night on a rooftop with a homeless stranger he knows nothing about. And that's when the man says something truly disturbing.
And, yeah, I don't know what to do here.
Probably won't stay here because it's gonna be hot. I'm saying there's one person up here.
Yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, in a couple more days, I'm turning myself. I gotta go back to jail again. So
Yeah, you're good.
I'll be gone like 2 days.
Okay.
Unless the weather gets really bad, then Friday
Okay.
Yeah, but you can always come back. There's no one ever here. So.
Right. Okay. Huh.
The atmosphere shifts instantly when the man hints to Sam that things won't end well if he stays the night. He tells Sam he's only hiding out on the roof for a few more days before turning himself into the police, because as he casually admits, he needs to go back to jail soon. It's at that moment Sam realizes just how dangerous the situation might actually be. But still, being the good guy Sam is, he tries to keep things calm and even offers the man a small gesture before leaving.
You don't want any snacks? No, I'll give you $5 for McDonald's or something. All right, well, I'll leave you be. God bless you, and I hope it all works out for you. All right, well, take care. I'm leaving now, so. All right, God bless.
The man refuses to respond at all. Maybe he felt embarrassed accepting help from a stranger, or maybe he didn't need anything to begin with, and was simply hiding up there for the reason he told Sam to begin with. And as Sam climbs down from the roof, he immediately calls his girlfriend, still shaken by what he just experienced and needing to get it off his chest while his heart is still racing.
He was doing drugs. He was doing heroin, I think. I saw his little pouch kit and all the accoutrement. I got up there. Yeah, we talked. I offered him $5 for McDonald's, and I offered him snacks and whatnot, and he refused. Okay, so we're not stealth camping up there tonight. That was absolutely terrifying. That was the scariest moment of my 11 weeks of stealth camping so far. My heart is racing. I didn't see any weapons, but he definitely looked like he could have weapons. You can't script this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm pretty shaken up. That was pretty screwed up.
Completely shaken by the experience, Sam talks it over with his girlfriend and decides to head home rather than look for another stealth camping spot. It's truly unsettling to think about what could have happened if that man had shown up later in the night, while Sam was asleep or cooking in the dark. And considering the possibility that the guy might have been high or even carrying a weapon, Sam knows he was lucky. The whole encounter left him rattled and aware of just how differently things could have gone if their paths hadn't crossed at that exact moment. Beun, better known as Camp Like a Beun, is a man from Belgium who posts about the things he loves most, spending time outdoors and combining it with his other passion, editing videos. In February 2023, during one of his usual stealth camping trips, something completely unexpected happened, something that made him leave the campsite immediately. However, things started out completely normal. The video opened with a typical intro, and for most of the runtime, nothing unusual happened. Felon explored the area, showing an impressively built bridge amidst the water before setting up camp beside the river. He then spent some time scouting the surroundings, making sure no one else was nearby. A couple of hours later, Felon starts cooking some food over a small fire: sausages, fish, beans, the usual camp meal. But just as he finishes preparing everything, he notices something truly disturbing lurking just beyond the tree line. Flashlights. Startled and unsure of who they were or what they wanted, Felon quickly ducked down behind some bushes, trying to stay hidden while still keeping his camera rolling to capture everything. Just when it seemed like Felon was in trouble, the car turned around and drove away. The relief lasted only a moment. Seconds later, the vehicle appeared again, turning down another path. This time it ran right beside where Felon was hiding. With each breath growing louder than the last, Felon could feel the two men closing in on him. Still unsure of their intentions, he remained hidden, at least for now, because only a few minutes later, the two guys find him. It turns out it was the local police catching up on an anonymous call about someone staying in the woods. But he lays his camera on the ground and captures the entire encounter.
Beginnen met een heel valslijf van bijvoorbeeld hanteren. Ja, vuurstoken verboden door mijn bosweg, dus er kon heel gestresseerd proces vertaald kunnen worden in de natuur.
At last, the men drove away, but disturbingly, they took two of his cameras and even his passport with them to the police station, supposedly to make sure he would show up later. Fortunately, when he arrived at the station, the police explained that what he was doing was simply illegal, but they decided to let it slide this time. They warned him, however, that if he ever did it again, the consequences would be far more serious. Ian on YouTube is a channel run by a 30-year-old guy named Ian. He's been posting on YouTube for over 12 years, sharing bits of his everyday life, from working shifts at 7-Eleven to various after-hours adventures. Most of his content is lighthearted, fun, and relaxing, but one particular incident left him shaken for quite some time. On January 18, 2024, Ian posted a video that quickly spread across the internet, documenting a disturbing incident he experienced while stealth camping alone in a McDonald's parking lot in Palm Springs, California. Stealth camping is something Ian has done many times, and he's spent nights in far harsher conditions, from heavy rain to full-on sandstorms. So staying overnight in a McDonald's parking lot seemed like the least of his worries when he crawled into his vehicle on January 16, 2024, only 2 days prior to his upload. Unfortunately, he couldn't have been more wrong.
Here's a tiny, I mean, you can see in there, but that is pretty damn stealthy. And way better than having those things in here. Because look at that light. Now you guys will actually be able to see during my videos inside the car. And then that one combined with this light here. And we got like a pretty much video production going on. So that's awesome. I'm really happy with that. Super cool.
With new subtle lights installed in his car, perfect for avoiding detection, Ian was excited to try them out. But just as he was about to drift off to sleep, he was jolted awake by the sound of someone trying to unlock his passenger's side door.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, bro. What's up? What you doing, man? Ain't fucking weird, bro.
Ian jolted awake to see a man standing right beside the passenger door. But what made the encounter even more unsettling was the fact that the man didn't say a single word. Not even when Ian repeatedly asked what he wanted or why he was there.
What the hell, man? Sorry guys, my light's on. Oh man, I'm shaking, dude.
Despite shaking uncontrollably, Ian made the smart decision to drive off to a more hidden spot in the parking lot. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough. Just a few minutes later, he spotted the same man wandering around the lot, possibly trying to find his own car, or worse, attempting to break into someone else's. After a while, and for his own safety, Ian decided to drive to a completely different parking lot to finish the night. Fortunately, nothing else happened, and he managed to sleep through the rest of the night without any further encounters. Still, one question remained unanswered. Who was this man, and what was he trying to do? Ian never made a follow-up video or shared any additional details about the encounter, so everything beyond what we saw is left to our imagination. One possible explanation is that the man was homeless and perhaps dealing with mental illness or under the influence of drugs, which could explain why he didn't respond to Ian calling out to him and why he simply wandered around the parking lot in silence. Another possibility is far more unsettling, that he was intentionally trying to break into Ian's car, and when he realized he'd been caught, he may have pretended to be confused or harmless to make it seem like an accident. Since the inside of the car looked empty due to Ian's subtle lighting, the man might have thought it was safe to try stealing it. Or even worse, he might have known someone was inside and had completely different intentions. Fortunately, Ian managed to drive away before he ever had to find out what the man truly wanted. In this last case, we're following the creator behind the channel, The Abandoned Camper, who decides to stealth camp in an abandoned cemetery dating all the way back to the 1800s. It was July 15th, 2022, and the video starts out fairly normal as she finds a clear spot within the thick bushes beside the cemetery and begins unpacking her camping gear. After setting up her camp, she decides to head back out to explore more of the cemetery, but things quickly begin to take a strange turn. As she films the old gravestones, she starts hearing unsettling noises coming from all around her, which understandably makes her nervous. Although she initially believed she was alone in the cemetery, she couldn't have been more wrong. As she headed back toward her campsite, she spotted a group of kids in the distance who likely knew she was there. She tried to brush it off, assuming they were just out playing, but the uneasy feeling lingered.
Hi. Okay, so that dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning. And because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here.
Her uneasiness was confirmed as the screams grew both louder and closer. And the thought that someone might know she was there only made things worse. She kept her camera rolling just in case, and constantly glanced over her shoulder to make sure no one was following her back to her campsite.
I'm gonna keep this recording, just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not. Oh, I can see them. I just don't want them to see where I'm going.
However, once she made it back to her campsite, things only got worse. As she started her fire to prepare some food, something truly horrifying began to happen. The moment the flames lit up, she could hear people walking and talking behind her in the forest.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here.
She quickly packed up her gear and slipped out of the cemetery as quietly as possible. Fortunately, she managed to make it out without any harm. Still, it's deeply unsettling to think about what could have happened if she had stayed there for the entire night. And that'll be all for tonight's video. If these encounters show anything, it's that stealth camping isn't just about staying hidden, it's about staying aware. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and check the cards on screen for more disturbing